All right, welcome, kings and queens, y'all. Listen, we are back in the palace and we are talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. Love and Marriage Huntsville has kept me fat, full, and fluffy. When I think about content, I'm like, oh, which angle do I want to go? But today we are talking Ken. Ken's interview, honey. I listened to his interview with Heavenly and Carlos King on Messy Monday, and I got some things to say. We're going to talk about it. I am just, I hope y'all listened. Ken, you kind of double talked yourself in this. Ken went into protective mode. I'm not sure if y'all peeped that. And he said it. He said, I will always support Trisha publicly and we will handle our scandal behind closed doors. And that's what he did. He stood 10 toes down on being a protector, a provider, but he said a lot. And if you were not listening, and if you were only listening to hear what you wanted to hear outside of what he's saying, see, sometimes you got to pick up what they're putting down. And honey, I digested every single word, and we're going to talk about it. There's a few things that I got from this interview with Heavenly and Carlos, but wait, y'all. Wait, hold on. He's a Scorpio. Ooh, he's a Scorpio. What does that mean? Trish, he sees you. He knows you're sneaky, freaky, deaky. He sees everything about you. Now, I don't know if he's just bidding his time or he's collecting data and analytics so that when he comes down with the hammer, honey, he can put it all in your face so that when he leaves and close that door, it is finito, finale. It is done, finished, complete. He knows what you did last summer. Oh, yes, honey. He knows what you did last summer, Trish, and he's probably seeing how far you're going to take it. So when he leaves, he's gone. He's gone. Let's talk about it, y'all. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the palace, welcome to the. Or if you're new to listen, I'm so excited. I'm ready. All right. For those of you who are just tuned in, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television. But most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
All right. So there's a couple of things that we're going to do with this interview. And I just want to run them by you real quick, if that's all right with you. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to highlight that it was a good interview. Kent is an excellent interviewer. I feel like we got so much information about him. He is so articulate. He's a great speaker. He's his thoughts, he can articulate his thoughts. He's easy to understand and he's easy to follow. Now, he double talked a little bit, but outside of that, I thought it was an excellent interview on his behalf, period, point blank. He seems to be very well rounded. That would make him attractive as a man. I'm not talking about the aesthetics, but I'm talking about his ability to communicate, his ability to be expressive about what he needs and wants as a man. Ooh, that connectivity. So I'm sure that his well runs deep when it comes to his emotions and his needs. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I said it earlier, he's supporting her in public. Oh, they're going to have a strong united front. That's the second thing. The third thing is there's some insecurity within the relationship. I peeped that. Did y'all? There's some insecurity within the relationship on both sides. Did y'all pick up that? Did y'all pick that up from Kent? Because he said it in so many words. And then the fourth thing is they may be hanging on by a thread. Oh, yeah, I think this relationship is, ooh, I don't know. I think Dr. Heavenly asked a good question. Why are you on reality television with so much that y'all are up against? Why not leave? He gave us something. He said, Trish did it for me. Ken wanted the lights, the camera, and the action. Ken asked for this, y'all. And as a result, I picked up. What did you pick up from this interview? Because I picked up that they could be hanging on by a thread. It's a lot of shit that's happening in that house behind closed doors. I think he's just getting to know Trish in ways that he did not know her prior to going on Love and Marriage Huntsville. He said some things are going to have to change because there's only so much that somebody can take. That means we are at the end. If you don't fix it, I'm out. The man is saying to me, listen, the man gave such great details. And what it did is outlined Trisha's behavior behind closed doors. What he gave me is she's aggressive. She's explosive. She likes to fight, and she's felt to be a soft and a safe place for him. Basically, y'all, he said Trish is toxic. Oh, yeah, let's jump in. Let's jump in. I'm just going to jump right in. So here is something interesting. You know what? Carlos, you've got to do a better job of introducing your cast to your audience because we don't really know a lot about these new people. The same thing with Sonny and Moses outside of Destiny's Scandal, the entanglement, the messiness of all of that. We really don't get good introductions. I mean, you lead in with the mess. And sometimes the things that you're good at, you got to kind of peel it back. Otherwise, it's not so attractive. So we learned something about Ken. Ken owns a trucking company. Pay attention. There's 3 men on this show that has trucking businesses. You got Ken, you have Moses, and you have Courtney. We've yet to see a fucking truck. Now, it's called Love and Marriage Huntsville, and it's based off of Black excellence. We've yet to see a truck. We've yet to see a truckload. We've yet to see any of these men in their trucks, in their element, in their masculinity. Now, Carlos, you were quick to call out his masculinity in your interview. So why not highlight it on the show? That's a question I have for you. Why are we robbing these people of an opportunity to excel? So that's one thing we learned about Ken, that he owns his own trucking business. He makes a lucrative or appears to make a lucrative income where he can actually step in as a man and take care of Trisha. Now, according to the streets, he got a bit of a checker background when it comes to the ladies. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The second thing we learned about Ken and Trisha, if you were listening, they met online first before meeting in person. They talked online, similar to how, watch this, they met online through the DMs and they went back and forth for quite some time before they met in person between 2021. Watch this, follow this. That's similar to how Trisha met Martell. They met through the DMs as well. Now, it seems like Trish may have DM'd, I could be wrong, Ken, and Martell DM'd Trish. Same girl, 2 different men, same method, modality of communication. Trish likes to operate or appears to operate behind the scenes when it comes to how, how she goes out there and recruits. Okay. Now, she met Ken the same way she met Martell. Now, there may be a pattern here. Then, watch this. In 2021, they decided to meet in person, and he said he was a bit intimidated, shy. 2021, they decided, let's go ahead. Now, we've been talking. We've been doing this DM thing. It's time for us to meet up. I want to remind you of 2 things. She was full-fledged married. She was a married woman talking to Ken and talking to Martell. Her and Martell allegedly got together in 2020. Now, let me tell you something about dates and body counts. Honey, always pad in an extra number. If she and Martell says 2020, let's push it out between 218 to 2020. We're going to give a little leeway, a little runway for the plan to land. Now, Ken said 2020. It don't matter, because she was still dealing with Martell and she was still dealing with her husband, Ken. This is a full-fledged married woman. She's not your woman until she's single. I don't know. Maybe people are just doing things differently, but let me get back on track. What are y'all's thoughts? Because in my head, if you're married, you're married. You're not single. But I'm going to get back on track. They met in person in 2021, a year after her encounter, her entanglement, whatever, with Martell. Now, there's some crossover here. We can establish that. There's 3 men now. 2021 solidifies the juggling of at least 3 men. Definitely some crossover with Trish and her guys. Another point I want to make. Ken said he knew she was married. Follow me. Don't clap too soon. Hold on. Hold your round of applause. He said, you have to admire him because he took a protective stance in this interview. So even though he said he knew she was married and he still decided to move forward Hold on. She didn't offer up. She did not offer up the information coming out the gate. She didn't come out and say, I'm married. It wasn't until he went through her Instagram photos and saw her with her man, her marriage, her husband, and then he spun back and said, hey, you got something going on? Then she said, I'm married. Trish reminds me of the old military rule. Don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask, don't tell. I ain't telling you shit. You ask the right questions, you may get the right answer. If you don't ask the right question, deny, 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 deny. So, if you are listening to this interview the way we're supposed to listen, she's not very forthcoming. Okay? Because she withheld that information from him when he asked. Then she said it. Now, Trish is tricky, Trish. Trish is the kind of person that's a beautiful liar, okay? Because those kind of people to me are dangerous. If you don't ask just the right question, I don't have to tell you nothing. And that's a dangerous game to play. She told him she was married after he asked. And he was cool because he said they weren't necessarily aiming to go there anyway. Okay. Why not? Now, Ken, this is where it gets tricky because according to the streets, you weren't too quick to go there and put your foot on a pedal because you yourself had something going on. So now you weren't too pressed about it because you was in your own situation. Okay, according to the word on the streets. So it seems like I can see why this relationship has a lot of tension sexually, communicative wise, because both of y'all risked it all for each other. You were in something, she was in something with the husband and with Martell. And both of y'all in that house reminding each other when shit hits the fan of how much you sacrificed and how much you gave up for each other. That's what I'm picking up. But let's get back into it. So a year after she got involved with Martell and was still married to her husband, Ken came in the picture. Now, Heavenly asked him what was his thoughts. Follow this. What are your thoughts on linking up in a friendship while married? That's what Heavenly asked him. Is that okay with you? And he said, as long as it's about fitness, as long as it's about your original outreach, then it's okay. Because people, being that we're in a business that we're in, we both look good. Our bodies look good. Trish is popping. She fine as hell, basically what he's saying. She's a trainer. Many people will reach out to her regarding fitness. Okay? See, that's the problem. That's the problem, Ken. That's the problem, y'all. Follow me. Do you see the problem with this? See, you got to kick the tires and look underneath the hood. That sounds good. Tell it to the judge. But the problem with this is it always seems to start platonic. And then wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. See, it started off about fitness. And then it evolved into something else. That's a bit manipulative, in my opinion. You know what I mean? That kind of keeps both of your partners trapped, both of your marriages, your spouses trapped. Oh, we just talking about fitness. Ain't nothing happened. I didn't touch that girl to 2021. We kept it on the up and up. Didn't it start about fitness with her and Martell? See, and that's the problem. You got to watch that because a person can hold you hostage with a technicality. Technically, we were talking about fitness and we never thought we will find ourselves in bed with each other. Exactly. That's a whole problem. Quit playing with us. But I understand, Ken, that you were trying to protect her. Let's move on. He made it very clear that he's backing Trisha up 1,000%. He does not believe, according to him, that she slept with Martell. And even if she did, he said he don't care. I told y'all, men do not care. I told y'all a few videos ago. Let me tell you something about men. They don't care. They don't give a damn. When a man is smitten by you, he don't give a damn about your history. When they like you, when they've made up their mind that you are the one for them, baby, you can look like Methuselah. It ain't gonna matter. You can be a hoe all your life. It don't matter. He will turn you into a housewife. It don't matter. He said he doesn't care, even if she did, because it was before him. Now it wasn't years before you, Ken. It was just some time. I don't know. And not only that, sir, that's a whole married woman you talking about. So I can only take you serious up to a particular point. Okay. Now, here's the thing. This is what I call the perfect storm. This is what I call the perfect storm because he's with a whole married woman whom he views as his woman. Y'all, stop messing with married people. Stop messing with married people. Trish don't want a divorce and her husband doesn't want a divorce. Neither one of them wants a divorce. This is a perfect storm for violence. For violence to pop off and shit could get out of hand. Because her husband has just as much right to claim her, if not more than you do, Ken. Technically, she's her husband's woman, so I'm confused now. When did we shift to it being okay, like I asked y'all earlier? When did we shift to it being okay to be married and then have a whole boyfriend or a whole girlfriend? It must be something in the water in Huntsville. Cause I don't, maybe it's a Huntsville thing, honey, because Martell had a whole girlfriend and thought it was okay. Now Trish got a whole boyfriend and a half, depending on when Martell wants to come around. And she got a husband. Okay. What are your thoughts on this? This is crazy to me. Ain't no stopping us now, baby. We're about to go just a little bit deeper and I'm going to release y'all in just a minute. I promise you. Listen, the man is actually trying to see the best in Trish. And then ask yourselves why. Put it in the chat. Say, okay, Queen Sheba, where you going with this? Why is he trying to see the best in her? They risked it all. They put it all on the line. She's married. He had his situation. It has to work. I gotta see the best in you, or we are going to be the fucking laughing stock, not only of Love and Marriage Huntsville, but Huntsville, period. I done courted you. I done carried you around. I done hung out in the background. You kept me on the low till you worked your shit out. And then when it became what it was, and I decided as a man, I'm feeling you now. You ain't gonna keep hiding me. You gonna let your family know. It's too much on the line. And what it sounds like is, follow me very closely. Had he not pushed her to bring him out the closet, he he would still be in the closet. Ken, damn, Ken, how did you get here? How did you get here? That's why the arguments are explosive, because you know, deep down inside, you kind of played yourself. You put it all on the line. And you went after a woman that belonged to somebody else, baby. That ain't nothing like savoring a flavor for something that does not belong to you. It intensifies the aroma. It intensifies the feeling. And I gotta have it. Well, now you got it. Now you got it. And you realize that this woman has taken your ass for a spin around the block. Up, down, high, low. I'm about to really get into it. Trish is not for the faint of heart, in my opinion. And he needs to see, it ain't even trying at this point. I believe he needs to see the best in Trish. He has to justify this relationship. You know why? Everybody's sitting back watching. Didn't Trish say her family thought that she wouldn't make it this far with this man because she's married? Like, what are you doing? Okay, she's just playing. She's going to bring her ass back home and get back into mommy mode and get back into wifey mode and make it right with her husband. They got to make it work. And that's a lot of pressure because let me tell you something about pressure. Pressure causes pipes to burst. Ooh, that's a lot of pressure. So imagine those arguments. Hold on. Watch this. Trisha has the upper hand right now, in my opinion. Right now, Trisha has the upper hand. I've said it for weeks. She understood the assignment. Y'all don't like it. Oh, we ain't celebrating this on Love and Marriage Huntsville Queen. Listen, this my commentary. I talk about what I want to talk about. Okay? I'm just trying to tell y'all how it is in reality, not just reality television. I'm just saying this is life. This is life. Don't get slapped across the face with truth because you don't want to listen because it makes you uncomfortable. The girl understood the assignment when it comes to men. The art of seduction is what it's called. She presented herself as a damsel in distress who plays coy while juggling the hearts and minds of multiple men. You heard him. It's because of her past. She talks like that because of her past. Okay. That's the story she done told you to keep you subdued, to keep you paralyzed emotionally, sir, while she go out and do her thing. But hold on. She played the damsel in distress. Wow, she's juggling multiple men. She got her husband held hostage at the bar. Listen, he crying. She got Martell at the gym. He don't know what to think because he didn't even know all of this was going on. Martell thought he was going to hit it and quit it and didn't know he was getting played. And then she got Ken over here going up, all the way up, 0 to 100 for the art of seduction. A damsel in distress who's juggling multiple men. She's captured their minds. She's captured their hearts. His exact words were, I'm her security blanket. Y'all, this girl has done a magnificent job of making this man feel needed. Ooh, you say, I ain't gonna play them kind of games. Listen, do what you want. I'm just telling you, she's done a magnificent job of setting that web, that black widow, that spider web, lured his ass in by being a damsel in distress so that he can rescue her. And as a result, he's now calling himself her security blanket. Listen, as a result, now she's become his security blanket. He said, I was her security blanket. She needed me. Now she's mine. Trish has managed to place him, oh Lord, in emotional distress, in an emotional entanglement. I kid you not. He's now emotionally dependent on her, just like her husband is. Y'all better quit playing with me. Should we go to the next chapter in this episode? Should we go to the next chapter in this saga? Give me time to catch my breath, honey. The man did admit that there are some details regarding Trisha Martell that just don't add up. Listen, you already know what time it is now. I know you said that you're going to get out here, Ken, and you're going to publicly profess to be her protector and you're going to do the best you can. But at the same time, he's a truth teller. He couldn't help but to tell the truth. And he says some of the details just did not add up. And what do y'all call it? He said, I'm not going to let her play in my face. So shit got out of hand. Basically, he was asking her, explain yourself. Why you keep talking about Martell if it ain't what you said it was? They had a heated argument and he left the house for the first time. He know deep down inside. He know what time it is. Call a spade a spade. Go ahead and tell the audience that you know she lied to you straight to your face, but you are already gone. You in too deep. So you got to roll with it and you choose to see and believe the best even though your heart is telling you no. You said it didn't add up. So how come you ain't trusting you? You ain't gonna lie to you. You had a physiological reaction to her. It went for nothing. You didn't blow up for nothing. Your body is telling you that this woman is lying to you. I told you these niggas don't care. You can be a hoe in the street. You can be homeless. It don't matter. When they want you, they want you. But you also got to be careful playing that kind of game, which is probably why, like I said, all of what Trish has done has led to this disagreement that they had that caused him to miss his interview, his first interview that he had lined up with Carlos and Heavenly the previous week. Now, Trish, according to Ken, was playing in his face. That means she was lying to him. She was lying to him. He wasn't getting the answers that he was needing. I don't care how you tell it, how you fold it, how you chop it up and serve it. A lie is a lie is a lie. She was lying to him. It didn't add up and a nigga exploded, okay? Period, point blank. He shared that Trish can be somewhat difficult and she lacks accountability. He's saying she's a liar. And when you call her out, she tend to get hyped up and want to fight, get aggressive. And she turns the table and manipulates the conversation and gaslights him. That's what I took from it. There was a buildup, in my opinion, that led to this argument. There was a buildup The argument that he described that caused him to leave home and go out of town, oh, that nigga was considering leaving for real, for real. He was just, see, but they in too deep. Remember, I need to see the best in you. I've sacrificed everything. Our kids done met. Trish pulled you in to make it hard to leave her, just like listen, that's why her husband ran away for 6 years or however long. Just like, see, are y'all watching the commonalities? He ran away for 2 days because he only 2 years in. Her husband ran away for a while. Now, I know some of y'all are saying he went to go play with the boys in Atlanta. I don't know what he did, but I know she made him run away and she made Kent run away. It's a lot. He says she likes to get an attitude when she's called to the carpet. Now, Ken, that's called manipulation, honey. That's called gaslighting. Yeah, there was definitely a buildup. And I wish he could have talked a little bit more about that. But what this does reveal to us is that he was suppressing, he was holding the shit in for a long time. He's saying all of the right stuff publicly, but don't get it twisted. He's feeling it. He's feeling it. His instinct, the responses in his body caused him to explode on her. Yeah, that Cleopatra syndrome that she's putting on you. The man knows he's being manipulated, but he can't do nothing about it right now. He can't do nothing about it because his lust for this woman causes him to abandon his damn common sense. Trish, what you got? What you serving up? Because he knows deep down inside that she one-upped his ass. She one-upped you. Ooh, I never thought I would get this much content. I ain't gonna lie. Damn, out of Trish and Kent. This is a train wreck, a beautiful train wreck. Because he needs this to work. And typically it's usually the woman in that position when you see that. The woman needs it to work. The woman is codependent emotionally on the man. But this is opposite. Trish is a pro. Trish is a professional seductress. Okay. Hold up. He made it very clear that Trisha likes to manipulate the communication. Duh, sir. She's a whole married woman who has you and Martell on the side. So why do you expect integrity since you've moved up on the roster? I don't care how solid y'all seem to appear. Y'all, let me tell you something. Do they appear to be solid? Are y'all rah-rah, roo-rooing and cheering for this? I'm not invested. I'm just doing the commentary. But I can do it in a way that makes it seem like I'm invested. I'm not. I'm just sitting back watching it happen. It don't make sense to me, because I understand the reality of things. This is a married woman. Ain't no good can come out of this. Y'all got a wrong start. You got a very dirty start. The relationship is smeared with the fingerprints of 2 other men. Y'all are arguing about this shit behind closed doors. But this is what you wanted, Ken. You said you wanted to be on reality television. She didn't. And let me tell you something. It's not because she's shy. Oh, baby, don't sit there and fall for the okie doke. It ain't because she's shy. That girl likes to operate below the radar. She's smart. She don't want her shit to get out there. She's smart. She don't want that body count. Trisha's been doing fine before you wanted to go public in a relationship, before you wanted to go and appear on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, my question to you is, who asked? I know y'all came in by way of Stormy, but why? Why do you think they thought that Trish and Ken would be good? Is it because of the drama? Or is it because there's more drama that you think is going to come from this? Now, he made it clear that she likes to manipulate. Duh. I don't understand why people do wrong with people and then expect them to be a saint, a Mother Teresa, a nun. It ain't happening, sir. Why do you expect this woman to be on the up and up by way of her style of communication? Anybody that's cheating their marriage is a liar. Okay? You're not finna turn her into Mother Teresa at all. Trish likes the attention, in my opinion. And when I say the attention, I think she likes the attention of the men. She likes the attention of all of the men. Martel, Marquez, what's his name? Marquez, and Kent, exhibit number 1. She came home and told you, let me tell you how I know she likes attention. Martel didn't give it to her in his scene with her and Stormy at Stormy's house. So what she did is she came home and told you about Martel playing like he didn't know her. She could have kept that shit to herself. She wanted to evoke some emotion within you. I couldn't get it from him. I'm going to get it from you because I need you to make me feel worthy because he made me feel like shit. Okay? Attention seeking. Now, why would Martel pretend that he didn't know her, y'all? If there wasn't anything to hide. Ask yourselves that. If there is nothing to hide, hey friend, how you doing? I'm doing good. Why would Martel pretend that he didn't know her if they didn't have a sexual history? Trish has managed to get Kent to see her as a victim when actually she's the one, the puppet master that's pulling the strings. Follow me very closely. That's all I'm saying. She is the one pulling the strings. What he disclosed in this interview is he's been somewhat embarrassed regarding the optics of it all. Yeah, that's called a double life. What you have with her in private isn't her real life. Y'all better wake up and smell a damn coffee. He's embarrassed of the public display and how she appears on screen because wait a minute, that ain't what we practiced. That ain't what we rehearsed in private because that ain't who she is, sir. She has you confined. She has you triangulated. And I'm about to break it down, and I swear I'm going to let y'all go after this. He didn't like what he was seeing. He didn't like the fact that she had this need to talk about Martel all the time. That started him to question what's really going on. Why are you talking about your ex-husband like that? See, you moving differently. You going to embarrass me as a man because you making it seem like you still emotionally connected and you over here flirtatious with this one in the gym. And over here, you don't want to sign the papers. Hold on. You can't move like that as my woman. And she blew the fuck up and went the hell off on him. He tried to tell her how to handle it, and she blew up. Then he blew up, and then he left the house for days. Sir, Ken, have a seat. Trish has triangulated you with Martel and Marquez. He said, y'all, she went off script. And then when he asked her why, oh, come in a little bit closer. What she said to him, honey, she said, I was mad at you. I was pissed off. So what she did is she punished him when the cameras started rolling. Who does that sound like? Take a guess. Does that not sound like old narkety narc Martel? I am going to embarrass you. I am going to punish you publicly. Oh, yeah, he said she went off script and punished him when the camera started rolling. She threw up her other 2 men in a conversation on camera to embarrass him because she was pissed off. It's called raging. That's what it's called. I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to make you feel like shit. I'm going to triangulate you. And then I'm going to let you know you really shouldn't get that comfortable with me because I can disrupt your confidence and your security anytime I get ready. And that's what Trish is doing to you. And I believe she's going to continue to embarrass your ass on camera.
I consider the icon of seduction is the siren itself because that's where the concept came from. And that's a woman who has a very powerful sexual energy that any man can feel. It's not overt in that they're not coming on to you, but they just radiate this kind of intense physical energy. And there's an element almost of danger to them.